All right, I'm back with another video. I actually don't have an idea in mind, so I'm just gonna recap some of the stuff that I've been talking about. I remember I did like a three-part video, which was about kind of, life, whether it's local, international, whatever the case is, just life in general, life skills and parts of life. And I came with the literary aspect. After that, I talked about the sporting aspect, and then finally, I talked about this kind of gangster or underworld aspect. Um, and what else really? I'm really thinking about here. I don't know what other things to talk about. sorry, I do. But when it comes to the recap, that's it. I have nothing else to talk about when it comes to those three things. I was a very full video. Last night I did a huge. I've never done four parts, four different videos, and four different parts to one idea, which was a Latin race. You know what? Some things are just left with history. I can't find anything on it. I can't find anything legit on it. I mean, it goes back so far because the history of different countries where you could say Latin people originate from are just so old. I mean, it goes back before Christ, so it's over 2,000 years old. It's just so hard to really know what went on over 2,000 years ago. Believe me, archaeology or anything, it just can't decipher, and you can't do anything when it comes to it. It just is old history, very old history, and that's all we're left with. That's why I feel fortunate, so I mean, when it comes to my personal features, like you look at my ears are not abnormal, which I like. They're not too big or too small or anything. They're very normal ears. My eyes are a distinct feature. First of all, my skin, like this is where the light's coming from. This is where the light's touching my skin. By the way, I have curtains that are closed. So it's closed curtain light that's coming here, and the skin is white. Skin is just naturally white. This is shaded, but you can still tell it's white. The eyes again. The eyes were a big. I always wondered like what's with the eyes, and then I saw that portrait of Vlad, and he had the exact same eyes as me, and I was so glad. The same hair as me, I was so glad. But yeah, I got two features that are just very very obvious, and one is the teeth, and the other thing is the color of the hair, which I haven't seen a lot of people who have that kind of hair color. And I'm sure there are people, I'm sure there are Latin rooted people that have that kind of hair color. And that's why I'm glad to have that. It makes things easier for me to understand myself. What else can we really talk about here? So I talked about dead time. I talked about live time. And I talked about different cities and what they're like. I told you, like, I felt like I was part of Miami for a while. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is that, like, yeah, I hit Miami when I was a baby or a walking toddler, but I never hit Miami up specifically in those 4 years or 3, 4, 5 years. I don't know, 3 years, 4 years, whatever. I never actually went to Miami directly, which is so odd. It's so odd that I didn't even go to Miami Airport. That's the odd thing. I was actually had I hit Florida. Yeah, I hit Florida. I had hit Florida, and maybe it was around then that I really kind of had that Miami vibe. But like I said, I hit everything around Miami. I mean, I hit Havana, Cuba, hit the Dominican. Spent about 8-9 hours in Panama. I think I had a 12-hour layover, which I did on purpose. So on my return flight, I had put a 12, 13, or 14-hour layover in Panama City so that I could check out Panama. And that was the whole idea coming back, which I did. I got to actually get out of the airport and actually see Panama, which is really cool. And it's exactly what I wanted. But and again, everything is for a reason. And I didn't book Miami. I could have booked Miami as a layover on my way to Colombia, but I didn't. I didn't book Miami But I booked Panama. And the fun, and again, I was a toddler in Miami, like exploring all of Miami, Miami Beach, the cafes of Miami, and all that. As a toddler, I was old enough to walk, and there's pictures of me, running onto Miami Beach. I looked at, like, I'm just like, wow, it's so weird. You kind of notice the way people are looking at you. And, as a baby, I had no sense. I didn't have adult sense as a baby. I didn't have that sense where, like, I knew what was going on. I was just drowning in all this attention and looks at who is this baby. Wow, that kind of thing. And I'm running around crazy. Miami will just drive you crazy, man. But first of all, there's a huge okay, look, in Miami, there is a huge Colombian community. Okay, that's known. There is a huge Cuban community in Miami. Now, I spent time in Havana, Veradero, and I went to Cali, and I spent time in the north and the south. I spent a month and a half in Colombia, where I went to the north and the south. So, that's a big part of knowing Miami. I spent time in Dominican too, and now Dominican. Now, this is the cool thing about Dominican. So the Dominican, there is a Haitian, the Western Island is a totally different country. It's a French-speaking country, and it's Haitian. And Haitian, there's like a whole district in Miami that's full of Haitians. So that's kind of cool. And the whole Dominican thing, which is interesting, that, there's Dominicans in New York. There's a lot of Dominicans and Puerto Ricans in New York. Specifically, so that's a big thing to know about. Knowing that I did after Miami, I felt like I had a New York vibe, but yeah, I went everywhere around Miami, so it's like, and I had actually been in Miami, so it gave me that vibe that I needed. You know what I mean? Which is cool. How about the New York? So I've already talked about New York. That's not really a big deal. You know what I mean? I've talked about. I've gone to Buffalo, New York, over 20 times. Okay, literally over 20 times since I was a kid. Going to Buffalo, New York was like a thing to do, like twice or three times a year. We used to always go to Buffalo, New York. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. But that was like our favorite spot. We could just drive there in a couple of hours. In like 2 or 3 hours, I can drive to Buffalo, New York, and go around, and I had been doing it for a long time. I would say the last time I did Buffalo, New York, I didn't do it after 18 years old. So after I hit 18, I didn't go back to Buffalo, New York again. But like I said, I told you all about that New York vibe and all those years of having New York vibe. Dubai was a bit of a special case, and I think Dubai was part of the misunderstanding. I just feel like, it was, forget what I looked like. This is what I genuinely looked like, but forget that, I was already kind of, anyways, life is different. You know what I mean? You go through phases and stuff, and people see something that's not even genuine out there. That's why I feel like I'm more genuine now. I was always genuine, but I'm genuine to the bone, which is very important. But honestly, Dubai was just, and I would say it wasn't, almost like an evil desire in me. It was all about money. Going to Dubai was all about money, man. That's all that it mattered. It was just about money, about the ego of having a lot of money and all that shit. And you know what, man? You'll find out, man. You'll find out who your friends are, especially when you don't have money anymore. You'll find out who your friends really are. Just like when you're in Lifetime and you go in Dead Time. When you go to Dead Time, you'll find out who your friends really are. You'll find out who still backs you. You'll find out in Dead Time which people are real and which people are not, and that's a big deal. Same with being in like real Lifetime. But to me, Dubai is just a cheesy place where, I got this much money and it's more than this guy, but this guy has more than, it's just really stupid at the end of the day. I fuck the Dubai vibes, and even the girls, like, I learned, like, I wanted nothing to do with them. That I learned a big lesson in Dubai, by the way. I learned a big lesson. Like, the Dubai vibes, one of the lessons they taught me is, like, dude, just never to get married. You know what I mean? Never to get married, never to have a wife, never to try to settle down and do any of that. I'm so glad. That's one of the things that I learned is, like, dude, I might date somebody, but I'm not marrying nobody at the end of the day. I don't want to marry anybody at the end of the day. But again, I didn't really like the Dubai vibes. Now, if in the future, if I would be in any place, first of all, it doesn't have to be I don't know, man. Like in the future, if I was gonna pick up vibes, to be very honest, you know, right now, if I give you an answer and tell you what kind of vibes I want to pick up, what would you guess? I'm pretty sure it's very obvious. Me spending all that time talking about the Latin stuff, I would just be in some Latin, like an old Latin European person, just you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just pretty much, just that's it. That's all there is to say. There's nothing else to say to that. I don't have anything else to say. You saw I put a very extensive video last night, so I got nothing to say about that. But again, Latin vibes are big to me now. And it's funny because when I think about, other than Dubai, you know what I mean? Which by the way wasn't dead time. Like Dubai wasn't dead time. And to me, Dubai, to be very honest, is the ideal place. Anyways, I don't want to get into all that. But New York has Latin vibes, and so does Miami. Miami, you know what? Miami has real Latin vibes, man. Miami has real Latin vibes, which is a crazy thing, You get it's crazy because in some parts of Latin America, you actually get Latin vibes, man. I can't speak about all of it because I haven't been to all of Latin America, but there are parts of Latin America where you pick up Latin vibes, and it's really cool, man. You know what I mean? It's odd because it's like me going backwards. Okay, where did the conquistadors land and where was the Latino race? Oh, there it was. Let me go there first. And then after I'm like, let me go get the vibes from like where Cortez was, let me get some real Latin vibes from the old, even predating Cortez, like just predating it and seeing old Latin vibes, going from Latin America and the Latino place and kind of going more back in history, before Cortez and all that, and trying to pick up those Latin vibes and get those Latin vibes going. But it's really cool, at least it works out. I'm not gonna recap anything else. And I think I've said everything there is to say. It's good to be genuinely something and to be something like formally and like when you formally and genuinely look the same, it's a great feeling. When you and your ego look the same, it's a great feeling. When you're way above where you were at a prior time, that's very good too. Anyways, I got nothing else to say. This whole video was just recapping. Feel like I'm just slowing down and I can't really come up with really great content or anything, but for the meantime, it is what it is, and we'll slow down a bit. Okay, I'm done.